Welcome back to the Sanctuary in Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Kruznik X along with Lord Fyrax and Korlash, and in the last episode, Gulool Ja, the little Hoobigo kid, overheard what Wuk Lamat plans on doing to Zeralja. His illegitimate father. Anywhoosie, we're trying to pursue him so that Wuk Lamat can explain, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right down to it with our next quest. I only saw him for a moment before he disappeared behind a building, but I'm pretty sure Gulool Ja was heading further south. I'll contact LSA on Link Pearl and let her know to join us. Ah, diavolo. This thing ain't nothing we haven't faced before. You have to go this way. This is the area. The canals and the debris make it hard to get a good view. Let's split up and search. If you could head into the canals, I'll make my way through the streets. When we find Gulool Ja, let's watch from a distance until he gets to his destination. Wouldn't want to startle him and cause an accident. Alright, into the canals I go. There's the lad. You have located Gulool Ja. Follow him quietly without being noticed. For stealth section. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And we made it.
He's come a long way on such short legs. It's a relief he didn't get hurt. What's here, I wonder?
Nutkins!
So he's looking after those little ones.
Gulool Ja.
Not another step!
What?
A sentry?
Run, Gulool Ja, run!
You know the boy. Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Wuk Lamat, and I've come to talk to Gulool Ja.
Is that so?
I'm sorry if I scared you. I want to get to know you better. That's all.
And you, my boy, do you wish to speak with them?
What is it with all these mechanical people?
I heard them talking. She said she's going to kill my father.
Villains! I will deal with them forthwith!
But... I want to get to know her too.
Aww.
I see. If that is your desire, then I shall stand aside.
All right then. Let's talk, you and I. Lots. But, who's the ancient-looking and articulate machine?
If I look ancient, it is because I am. This has been my vessel for no less than 380 years.
How,
Vessel?
Otis is my friend. When I was hungry and sad, he came and looked after me.
330 years?
Cooks for me, and teaches me all kinds of things. Like how to read and write and not be noticed by dangerous creatures.
This machine cooks for you.
And teaches you about fiends. What is he exactly?
Ah! How remiss of me. I had neglected to introduce myself. Sir Otis Valona, Lord Captain of the Royal Knights of Alexandria. At your service.
You're captain of the knights?
You've been functioning for nearly 400 years?
And there I thought it was Gulool Ja with whom you wished to speak. Not that I'm averse to taking a walk down memory lane. But ere I regale you, you, we must take our repast.
A meal. Here. I hate to turn down food, but I'd prefer to have this conversation in the back room.
Please, I'm really hungry.
All right, all right. A riposte it is.
She's going to spoil her nephew silly. I'll send word to Erenville so the others can stop worrying.
Yes, I know.
Now, if I might prevail upon your assistance, I shall whip up my most delectable specialty.
And that specialty is...
So, my new friend, I would enlist your aid in procuring the ingredients for our repast. After all, the most enjoyable meals are those we make together.
We're happy to pitch in, of course. What ingredients did you have in mind?
First of all, some yam and pumpkin. The people of the outskirts should be willing to share their harvest. You and Gulool Ja could go and speak to them.
Sure. I'll ask for the cast-offs too, as usual.
As for Chris and Elise, I would be delighted if you could procure some woolback meat. The creatures can be found grazing on the slopes outside of town. As beef is less readily available, their flesh makes for a good substitute. That of the younger ones especially, as it is more tender and less gamey.
Consider it done. We'll be back with the meat before you know it.
Thank you kindly. In the meantime, I shall see to other preparations.
All right, let's get us some meat. That was easy enough.
That's good.
And Rubido withdrew from battle right after.
That's nice.
If only I could time that right every time.
But then it wouldn't be special if it was perfectly timed every time.
True. There's Otis.
What's this? Am I to understand that you have already procured the meat?
Obviously.
heavens, you have! And such a choice cut it is besides! It's plain you know how to handle yourself in battle. Were it 400 years ago, I would have recruited you to the Royal Knights!
If only I could use the, I can't apply a glamour plate here, so I'm just gonna go back to my previous gear until such time as we can look good, you know?
Once Alice brings her portion, we shall have a glorious bounty to satisfy growing younglings like yourselves. Indeed, I expect there will be ample leftovers to share with the good folk of the Drift Downs. They always appreciate a warm meal. Now, seeing as you've completed your task so quickly, I have another request to make of you. We've exhausted our supplies of kindling electrope, and I should be grateful if you could search the houses yonder for more. In the Old Kingdom, electrope rations were issued to each citizen. While small, fragments may still be found here and there. If you can obtain 5 pieces, say, at least one ought to be what we require. That is, the kind that converts lightning to fire. Gulool Ja can identify them by their secretary, so pray, take them to him. Boy has become quite deft at discerning electrope types, and in a very short time, I might add. Now, off you go, and happy foraging!
There's another one. I'm trying to do this while dodging as many battles as possible.
How's that working out?
Well, I've managed so far. There's 2 more electropes to go. Ooh, and an ether current. And not a single detection.
Ooh, an ether current.
Alright, let's run through the canals to get to where we need to go. Otis says you have electrope for me. Here you go. Wow! You found a lot! Let's see. This one creates wind. This one is for water. You can tell just like that. I'm impressed. Clever, isn't he? I'll bet he gets it from his father. Ah, this is it. This converts to fire. It's absorbed lots of lightning, so we should be able to kindle a flame easily. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks to your kind assistance, we have everything we need for our repast. You have done your part, and now I shall do mine. I bid you relax, my friends. The meal will soon be served.
This is the kind of things families do, Gulool Ja. We have meals together and talk about what's on our minds. So you ate with your father? Yes, with them and my brothers. It was mostly the head of Resolve and I doing the talking, though. Kona and the head of Reason occasionally joined in, and Gulool Ja spoke when he was spoken to. You said that you have two papas. Does that mean one is yours and the other is my father's? No. Both are our father. He's what people call blessed sibling. A mamuljar with two heads. Gulool Ja is his true-born child, while Kona and I were adopted and don't share the same blood. But that doesn't make us any less a family. What matters is that our hearts are connected. The head of Resolve taught me that. Family. Do you have someone like that too? A person you think is family, even though you don't share the same blood? That's a good question. What about you? I do. They're very dear to me. I'd like to meet them one day. So, Gulool Ja, I'm hoping that we could be family, you and I. Won't you tell me about yourself? You really want to know about me? I do. I want to know all about you. The things you love, the things you hate, anything and everything. I want to know all about you, too. That reminds me. We were hoping to hear your story too, Otis.
As you wish. Be forewarned that mine is a tale that will be long in recounting. It was before lightning had altered the world that I was appointed Lord Captain of the Royal Knights.
We're talking hundreds of years prior to the calamity, right?
Indeed. Earlier still when I assumed this mechanical. Earlier still than when I assumed this mechanical form. 444 years ago, to be precise.
Then, you used to be a normal person?
Oh yes, I was once flesh and blood like you, and I proudly served as a Knight of Alexandria.
So, rather than a machine that behaves like a person, you are an actual person. How is this possible?
It's only natural that you are confused. Hear my tale to the end, and all shall become clear. The foremost duty of the royal knights was the protection of the royal family. In my time, that was their majesties the king and queen, and their only child, Her Highness the princess. By then, every nation of our star was embroiled in some manner of conflict over Electrope. Thus was our kingdom drawn into a war with its neighbor. That war was the catalyst for the great calamity that altered the environment. Countless countrymen lost their lives amidst the chaos, the king and queen among them. For a blessing, we were able to protect the princess, who then rose to the occasion and brought hope to her people in those trying times. So kind-hearted was our young queen that at her behest, we even took in refugees from the enemy nation. But sadly, her reign was cut short. Like many others, her body had been ravaged by lightning, and one day she collapsed and passed away.
How tragic.
Aye. Nary was there a citizen whose eyes remained dry, and many a moon was spent constructing a great tomb worthy of her memory. Yet I clung to hope still. For while Her Majesty was on her deathbed, the kingdom's finest scientists had successfully extracted her soul.
Did we hear that right? Extracted her soul?
Our flesh may wither and die, but so long as we are remembered, we may live on. This age-old belief had always comforted our people, but as casualties mounted in the wake of the calamity, we sought to make it into reality through the power of Electrope. In time, we succeeded in developing the means to preserve the soul, and it was used to spare the Queen eternal death. Yet it wasn't enough to simply prevent the soul's departure, for the ultimate goal was to recreate a person as they were in life, and this required that their memories be further extracted from their soul. It took many more years of research to make this possible, by which time I had become a grey old man. With my days numbered, I did not hesitate to volunteer myself as a test subject for the procedure. So it was that I attained this vessel. And by my successful rebirth, I paved the way for those who are recreated from the memories of the departed. The Endless, they are called.
If your tale is true, then the queen that your people brought back to life... I think we know who it is.
You do?
Oh, so you know Her Majesty as well. My description of her boundless kindness must have paled in comparison to what you no doubt felt in her presence. I haven't met her myself, I confess. Not since assuming my current form. Wouldn't want to frighten the living daylights out of her.
Well, that was enlightening. Wuk Lamat. The Endless. So all these times Sphene wasn't alive.
She lives, yet she does not. It is admittedly a difficult distinction to make. Having inherited the memories of a departed soul, an Endless feels, thinks, and acts precisely as that person would. In that sense, I believe they are alive.
The Alexandrians know about this, right? It can't have gone unnoticed that Sphene is perpetually youthful. No one really knows about the Endless. People who wear regulators don't even think about death. Everyone sees that the Queen doesn't change, but they just accept it. To them, it's just who she is. Are there Endless apart from yourselves?
While there should be as many Endless as those who have died, I believe they are limited in where they can exist. Queen Sphene is unique in her ability to appear before you. Strictly speaking, I myself am not an Endless. They are created using memories extracted from a soul, but my entire soul was placed inside a machine.
Being inside a machine makes you different. How?
While I do not understand the finer points, my life is bound to this vessel. If it breaks down, then it would be over for me. Much like a being of flesh and blood. Hardly an endless, unchanging life, I'm sure you'll agree.
An endless, unchanging life? I can't help but be reminded of the Ia. Did Kakuya and the others know about all this? Considering their extensive intelligence gathering, I'd be surprised if they didn't. For now, let's share what we've learned with Kryl and Raha. I can't help but have misgivings about this. Meanwhile, back in Solution 9.
Nahe, is that you?
Good gods, Ellen Nespia! It's been too long, my friend. Where have you been all these years? What have you been doing with yourself? Hold on. They say Queen Sphene has guests from outside the barrier. That's you, I gather?
It seems so. I'm looking for my mother. Do you know where she is?
Your mother? Sorry, but what was she like again?
Oh, and here we go again.
What? It's Kafkiwa. You know, the one who was too adventurous by half? Who journeyed with the Dawn Servant?
It's not ringing any bells.
You can't be serious. Ours was a tiny little village. Surely you remember her.
I really don't. It's all a blank.
Is anyone else here from the village?
Hey!
Huh? Ellen Nespia?
I'm looking for Kafkiwa. Where is she?
What's this all of a sudden? Who's Kafkiwa?
Oh my god, Erenville, you dolt! Had you stayed with us, you would have learned this already!
This cannot be.
Okay, the Warrior of Light learning.
Didn't hear that.
Absolutely, you will never learn anything.
The memories of the departed are taken away. No.
Nashville, where are you? The others will be here soon, so hurry back, won't you?
Yeah.
Do you hear me? Say something, would you?
I'm gonna ask one question.
Erenville's about to start some shit. I have the biggest feeling. Well.
Yeah.
We did 2 quests, so let's take a quick break. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links provided. See you in a bit.